Okay. All right. Caution, wet floor. Okay. All right. Take a big crap on camera, and then we'll say goodbye to you.
You want to?
This is the Greg Cody Show with Greg Cody.
Pardon it.
Here's your host, Greg Cody.
Coldplay concert cheaters.
Was this back in my day?
It did sound like the beginning of a back in my day, but you know what? It almost could be a back in my day in the sense that cheating on your wife used to be a lot easier than it is now.
Oh, Greg, that's one of you already did that. It's one of your more famous recent back in my days. You did adultery.
Wasn't that the one I did from Vegas?
No, you mentioned, I think the one in Vegas may have been called cheating, but it wasn't necessarily adultery. You did one after Vegas, specifically on adultery, because I'll forever love it because you mentioned necking on Mount Pilot.
Oh, right.
And then going to the no-tell motel. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, when these, everybody, this went viral, so everybody knows that a few days ago, this couple that were cheating on their spouses were on the kiss cam at a Coldplay concert, and Chris Martin, the lead singer, even when they reacted the way they did, he even said to the crowd of 20,000, 50,000 people, maybe they're having an affair or they're just shy. And it turns out the guy's like a prominent CEO of a major software company, and the woman he's allegedly cheating with is his head of HR services or something. So
yeah,
it turned into a big scandal, and it made me think all over again that it's tough to cheat now. You know, you have no chance. Privacy is dead. Everybody has a camera in their pocket. Drones are watching. Algorithms track everything you do. Surveillance cameras are everywhere in public places. How do you?
It's almost like it's not worth it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Now I will say I've never found it that difficult to be, to not cheat on my wife.
Right.
I'm not putting myself on a pedestal, but
not a lot of offers.
Not a lot of offers. No, no. I tell you though, back when I used to travel a lot, road trips are where,
of course,
the offers and the temptation are more likely to happen. You know, and if you're eating alone at a hotel bar, you're much more likely to be.
Have you ever been approached by not talking about Vegas and they have people that's their profession to actively approach,
right?
But have you ever been approached?
Yeah, of course, a couple of times over the years. I used to be young, believe it or not, at one time. I was in my 20s and 30s.
Without naming names, anyone in the industry?
No, total strangers at hotel bars and everything
right.
like that. Actually, once...
hey, big boy, you look like you want to have a good time.
Well, once a guy actually hit on me,
yeah.
which was pretty interesting. It happened in a hotel elevator of all places. But I don't know, how did I get off on this track, talking about whether or not I've ever been hit upon?
We're talking about Coldplay and cheating. And
yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, I don't know if you remember this, but in 1949, yes, things did occur before I was born. George Orwell writes the dystopian novel 1984, and it was prescient. I mean, that was about a totalitarian regime and all that. But now, just in everyday life, it's just so difficult to have anything that amounts to privacy. And I railed against algorithms on the Levitard show last week, and it's absolutely true. So I don't know. Do you feel bad for this couple essentially having their lives ruined and becoming a national laughingstock, or are you of the they got what they deserved school of thought?
Well, I don't feel nearly as bad for them as I do their spouses.
Yeah.
Unless we find out their spouses are absolutely hideous and horrible people, but either way, yes, I do feel a little bit of sympathy for them, because it's like, I mean, but yeah, I mean, you play with fire, you're going to get burned.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel horrifically bad for them, but it's like, it's just going to be a rough day for you. I mean, yes, you made your bed, so you've got to, you shit your bed, so you've got to sleep in it.
Right.
But like, it's not a great situation for them. But of course, I feel so much worse for their spouses. I think they were both married, spouses,
Yeah, I think so.
significant others.
Yeah.
Like, and then think about all the people at work. They've got to answer for things that they had nothing to do with. Right. Oh, you work at this company. What, did you see things that were going on? And, that sucks too. But yeah, I mean, like, for his wife and her husband or whoever they were married with, like, that's rough to, to not only see them in the arms of another on the grand scale, it's at viral levels now, at something that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yep.
But then also to see the jokes, that it's humiliating on all levels. Even if the jokes aren't being made about you, that's the person you committed yourself to. That's hard. That's a rough beat.
It's tough. And the wife of the guy immediately, canceled her Facebook page, and the Facebook picture I've seen of her, it's with who appear to be two teenage sons. So it's also
think about their kids.
Oh,
their parents are all over the internet now and getting mocked and scorned for being unfaithful.
Yeah.
And people cheat all the time, but I mean, like, there are consequences.
Yeah.
And there are other people's hearts on the line. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now I did have one idea, one thought of, like, one of the first things I thought of was, like, what if one of the spouses either knew this was going on or had an idea and, like, got in with the camera guy, and like, as a method of, one, exposing them, humiliating them, but also, like, I can take this to court now. I've got, I want Pablo Torre to find that out.
Yeah.
Was there some intent behind the cameraman focusing on them?
It's not the most outlandish supposition I've ever heard. I mean, there's a grain of truth to it, and especially this guy. Like, I'd never heard of him. I don't follow software company CEOs, but he was prominent enough where apparently he's been on, like, interviewed on business shows and been on TV and everything.
He was found out quick. His name was out there. Like, so fast that when I saw the name, I wasn't sure if that was just somebody, like, a funny tweet, somebody made up the industry that he'd be a part of, and that it's his HR lady.
Yeah,
that's how quick he was identified.
It was immediate, and I've also read stories that this guy in previous jobs was a pain in the ass boss who was hated by a lot of his employees and threatened to fire people all the time.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard to become a super rich CEO without pissing off a lot of people.
Right.
So this guy usually doesn't. The nicest guys usually don't make it to that level.
And this guy in particular, I think, had enough enemies where once it got out there were a lot of people who just reveled and delighted in pouncing on this. I want to turn to a more pleasant topic than two people being humiliated in public nationally. By the way, Christopher is in Las Vegas right now, and he is our official Greg Cote Show Las Vegas correspondent. We expect him to be checking in fairly soon.
Greg Cote loves a correspondent.
I do. Yes, he's a senior correspondent. I've given him that title. Okay, he's
seeing the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere, right?
Yeah, I believe he is.
I have not asked him directly, but I looked who was playing.
Yeah, he's seeing the Backstreet Boys. That is a Christy, his wife, driven choice of concerts. I have no doubt.
There are 5 songs there that Chris is going to be singing at the top of his lungs.
Oh,
and
I know.
It's going to be all over Instagram at some point. I just know it.
No doubt. I wanted to mention something that came up briefly on the Levitard show, which is that yours truly won the 2025 Green Eye Shade Award for Sports Commentary. Thank you. It's a major journalism honor. I think you almost have to be in journalism to appreciate it. It encompasses the 12 southern states, so I feel like I've won 1/4 of a national award. But something else came up this week that has to do with my writing career that I'm equally proud of, and maybe more so. The Pride of a Lion, my book with Ron McGill, has come out in audiobook, and it's also begun distribution in South America. So it's still more than a year after it came out. It's still gaining steam and proving very popular. And I have to tell you, Yeti, one of the things I delight in is finding joy in small ways. And the first time I listened to my book being narrated by someone, read by someone as an audiobook.
Did they not have Ron narrate it?
They did not. No.
Oh, mistake.
No, but I have to tell you this though. Okay, I expected the narration to be just that. Like, why didn't they have McGill do it?
Mhm.
And he would have done a great job. But they had a guy named Jeffrey Beam do the narration, and he's evidently a professional narrator because this guy was spot on. Like he was reading the exact inflections correctly. The emphasis was all correct. He did an A+ job, and it's such a cheap thrill to hear a book you've written narrated as an audiobook.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it just I can't even explain it any more than that. It's just
anyone, like, I'm not saying there aren't people out there who don't bask in, like, feel confident and feel good about what they've done. Like, well, I'm moving on to that album's done. I'm moving on to the next one, or that book's done. But like when they try to play the humble game, I don't always trust it because like I also don't think there's anything shameful about being proud of the work you've done, Greg.
Right.
When Pebble Drive was sent to me from the producer, when he finished it up and sent it to me, it was moving. Like, to be able to, like, this is the first, like, I actually did this.
Yeah.
I did something and it sounds good.
It's
like,
great.
it's not subpar quality. Like, are there better things out there? Sure. But like, and I was able to, like, fulfill a dream. You were able to write this book. Not only can you read it, but also, and I know you were moved when you were able to get the copies and see it fulfilled.
Yep.
Or it manifested, but now you've got it in another medium. You're hearing emotion put in an audio form. That's great.
Yeah.
You should be moved by that.
Yeah, it's really great. And I've been so lucky to do the things I've been able to do late in my career. Like, so much good has happened to me from in my 60s and now even into my early 70s. I'm filled with gratitude. It's just, it's a wonderful thing, and it was just a small delight to me to hear that read. It was just put a smile on my face, mainly because the guy, Jeffrey Beam, whoever you are, Jeffrey Beam, you did a great job.
What we should do, we should get him on the pod, and you can ask him, how did it feel for you to read the words that I wrote?
That's not a terrible idea. That would be, Levitard always claims I'm such a narcissist. That would be the extent of narcissism.
You did interview a Greg Cote, so I don't know. But
that's true. That's true. By the way, I don't know how this came up, but I stumbled upon it somehow on Spotify. There's a singer named John Cote, same spelling. And, he's not a big major star or anything, but he's got like 35,000 monthly listeners. So somebody's out there is a fan of his. So I'm
a lot more than me.
Yeah. I'm toying around with the idea of asking this guy on as well. But we'll see about that.
You're about to go on vacation.
I am. Yeah. I'm just going to say where I'm going, because what's the point of being coy about it? The wife and I are going to Vancouver, and we love Western Canada. It's gorgeous, very, very pretty. It's going to be a little bit chilly there, but we're going to be there for a whole week. Christopher was begging me to spend a week in Canada wearing a McOverrated shirt. I have politely declined.
Wouldn't carry the same weight in Vancouver as it would if you were in Alberta. But
that's for sure. That's for sure. But I will say, I am going to have a radar out for how American tourists are treated in Canada from a political lens, with Trump's tariffs and all that, because I don't think American tourists worldwide are on alert, I think, to watch out for indications of anti-American sentiment. And I've heard there is some in Canada, which I've always considered to be our friendliest neighbor. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to try to gauge.
It's one of my regrets is from my whole time in Seattle, I never made it up to Vancouver, and I don't know why. I just never. And that was before you had to have a passport to get over there. And so I don't know why I never went. I just never did. I had a free place to stay, just never made it.
Wow.
Jane's been. She went to Victoria Island, went to Bouchard Gardens, and just said it was just absolutely gorgeous over there. But
wow, okay.
So hopefully I'll get to go make a little. I know that you know nothing about your plans, but hopefully Arlene's got that on the docket for you. It's supposed to be really nice.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, we're spending like 3 days here and 2 days here, and believe me, she has the itinerary. It's not an exaggeration when Christopher and others make fun of me for just literally being along for the ride on a vacation. I do nothing. My wife just does everything, and I so appreciate her. Let's take a quick time out here and see if we can call Christopher or get him. There he is. Senior Greg Cote Show Las Vegas correspondent, Chris Cote. Why can't you hear us?
He's probably,
that's not a good camera angle. That is not the camera angle you want, son.
Nice rack.
What the hell? Oh, you have to be watching on our YouTube channel just to catch Christopher's stomach in perhaps the most unflattering.
He's going to tell me to delete it. Are you in the bathroom?
What did I do?
Oh, we just saw your boobs.
Yeah, you at one point you had the camera looking up from your stomach, and it was just the most unflattering thing. Are you in a bathroom?
We all have unflattering angles.
Yes, we do. Are you taking a leak as you're talking to us? You are, aren't you?
I can't hear you out there. I can't hear you out there.
Okay, well, where were you? Because it seemed to be a festive tableau.
Pool party at Encore in Vegas.
Okay. All
Greg,
right,
we should start making very disgusting noises while he's in the bathroom.
Are you literally pissing while you're talking to us?
Sometimes.
Unbelievable. Okay, bathroom Chris. Get out.
It's really loud here. I'm sorry. I'm going to be useless here. It's really loud.
Okay, what have you guys done yet? What did you do last night? What kind of fun are you having?
We just landed here. We're going to Backstreet Boys tomorrow. Little gambling, going to a show tonight. We're living life. We're having a good time. This place, Encore, not cheap. Not cheap.
Yeah. Is it like that surprising?
It's one of those things where I bit off a little more than I could chew. I kind of was like, yeah, let's get a table. Oh, yeah, let's do this. And then I just saw what the bill looks like.
Okay. Just bill it to Meadowlark.
I'm going to build a Greg Cote show. I need a raise.
There you go. Well, you are our official correspondent, so senior correspondent.
Yeah, delete the boob thing. Where my boobs were, delete that.
I don't know, man.
We can't.
Money talks.
Money, that's right.
Then you can just say you're fired and have no money, so,
We need the visual. What show are you seeing tonight?
It's called Absinthe.
Absinthe?
It's just circusy, risque.
Okay.
Acrobatic. It's just a fun show, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, Cirque du Soleil, like. Is that still a thing? Cirque du Soleil?
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I feel like I'm sorry. I've been useless to you, but I feel like this is it. This is the best you're going to get.
Okay. All right. Caution, wet floor. Okay. All right. Take a big crap on camera, and then we'll say goodbye to you.
You want to ask me anything else? Is there anything else you want to ask me on the way out?
No. Have fun.
I love you. And I'm sorry. I love you, and I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry I'm only giving you 3 minutes instead of 10. I'm sorry.
Not a problem. Win a lot of money at gambling.
I actually did well in gambling this morning, which is going to pay for a lot of what we're doing here.
Yeah, nice. Right. He's still going to end up in the hole.
Craps table as usual, or what?
Nope, okay, he's gone.
Nice with you. Okay, he's a craps table player, which
he is.
That game just totally confounds me. I just have never had an interest in learning it, and it's like listening to somebody speak Chinese when I'm watching people play craps. So football is back. Not that it ever left. And Yeti, you're not a big football fan, are you? I don't hear you talking much about it.
I follow along what people talk about. I don't get to watch much of anything. I'm just I love sports, I enjoy sports, but I really have a hard time attaching fandom, like true fandom, onto anything just because I don't have time. I'm making your show during my free time. And I'm doing other stuff and trying to, be a present father and husband, and it's just hard. If my family were interested in watching sports, it would be a lot easier, but it's just hard for me to be able to really follow along. So I can carry on conversations because I listen to enough sports shows.
Right.
Like I have great conversations with with a Panthers fan at work and a Lightning fan at work. Like So during hockey season, I'm able to keep up just because listening to you and Chris and what's on Levitard. But like I never really get to watch anything. So I have to follow through social media and through the pods that I listen to.
Yeah. But football, though, I feel like just about everybody has some interest in football because it's the national pastime. I don't care what
I don't have a
baseball calls
team.
itself.
I don't have a team, but I like following stories. It's a lot of fun to, know what's going on. So
Yeah. Well, it's always big in Miami. This is a football town. It always has been. LeBron James couldn't change that. Lionel Messi isn't changing that. 2 Stanley Cups in a row are not changing that. It's
stuff that happened in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, can that happen? That's a question I've got for you. Can that happen today? If a team were to go on like a really great run for 8 years, could that make their town cling on to make it a football town? If that maybe it wasn't a football town, can it be a football town that they can have no more success for like 50 years, like no more real solid, like championship level success for like 50 years, and it still be considered that team has the grip on the town?
Yeah, I guess it depends on the market, the sports market, the city. But here, it's always been football. And in fairness, the Dolphins' 2 championships were in 72 and 73, granted, but they were very exciting throughout the Dan Marino era. Like from 1983 into the mid-90s, Marino was it, and he was setting passing records, and they were one of the highest scoring teams in the league. So that was a thing. And then the Miami Hurricanes won 5 national championships, 4 of them between 1983 and 91. So that was a thing. Yeah. And now both of those teams are having very crucial seasons ahead. Mike McDaniel's trying to save his job by getting in the playoffs again with the Dolphins, and Mario Cristobal. It's on him now. Ever since the college football playoff expanded from 4 teams to 12, teams on that borderline, like Miami, need to make the playoffs. That's.
Do you think this is it for both coaches if there are no playoffs?
Not for Mario. Mario Cristobal has a long contract. It would be cost them a mint to buy him out, and he had a good season last year. He was 10-2 before a bowl loss, so they did well. But for Mike McDaniel of the Dolphins, I think it's very much playoffs or bust for him. I think the Dolphins are going to make sweeping changes with McDaniel and GM Chris Greer if they don't make the playoff, and maybe if they don't win a playoff game for the first time in 25 years. So I'm particularly interested in football season this year.
You know what? Let's go to break. Let's come back. I've got a new segment for you, and then we've got our tent poles as well.
Okay.
Oh, Greg, with Chris calling in from the bathroom, which I don't answer the phone in the bathroom. If you need to talk to me, although one time I had my earbud in, I was listening to a podcast and Alex called. I was in the shower. I didn't know it was Alex. I thought it might have been Jane. And so I answered, and I'm sitting there in the shower, and I answered, and it's Alex Benson. But typically, if I'm at work, I'm in the restroom, I'm not answering the phone.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, I don't like people knowing I'm in there. That's so here's another Yeti's bathroom observation. It's been a while, but I have these, and I think it's a weird thing about me that I have so many observations in the restroom. It's a place of discomfort for me. When was the last time you used, like, you had to go poop in a public restroom that's a shared restroom that like has more than one stall where more people would be in there while you're doing your business? It's
been a while. Like I try at all costs to avoid that. I will admit that I am prone to shy bladder syndrome.
Yeah.
Where if I'm going into a public restroom, even if I'm just peeing, I will go into a stall if at all possible.
Yeah. Jane knows this about me too, because I have the same problem. And sometimes I'll be in our, we've got the little separate, I guess, toilet closet or whatever they call it, like, where there's our shower and bathroom, and then you can close the door for the toilet.
Right.
She'll hear me going in there and she'll go, "Hey!"
That's funny. That's funny. That's my kind of humor.
But yeah, so I will know. So yeah, I try to avoid it as well. But like sometimes you got to go. I'm at work for, I'm at the office for between 9 and 10 hours every day. And sometimes it happens. And so like, but we've got the stalls where you can see down at the bottom, like, without looking, I can just washing my hands and I can look in the mirror and I can see the person's shoes.
Yeah. Right.
I know who's in there. and like that's what I noticed, because people wear, very rarely do you have people wearing the same shoe.
Right.
And so I've got one friend who wears a distinct kind of shoe. I know when he's in there. Yeah. I wear a distinct kind of shoe. I'm sure he knows when I'm in there, but I do wonder who else notices that. How weird is it that I clock that? Now, do I call them out? Do I say anything? Absolutely not. But I notice, and I think it's weird that I notice it. Listeners, am I alone? I think it's weird, but so that's.
I don't think it's real weird. But what's weird to me is that sitting down to go to the bathroom, a nice way of saying taking a shit, is something that everybody does. From the president of the United States to the most famous Madonna and Lady Gaga and the most famous actors in the world. Everybody takes a shit. And yet when we do, we're self-conscious about doing it in public, in any place but the privacy of our own room.
It is weird that we're even like worried about things. It's something, everybody does it. We should be completely comfortable with it. And there are people that are. I'm not one of them. I wish I had that removed, that anxiety removed from me, but it's there.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm weird. I observe people. I know who's in the bathroom. If I've seen what shoes you're wearing, I pretty much know that you're pooping. Yeah. You're the one stinking the place up.
I know. No, it's I'm embarrassed seeing other people coming out of a bathroom.
I don't want to see faces. If I'm in there, this is another observation about myself, and I'm about to finish and like I'm about to walk out, but I hear someone walk in. If it's not obvious that I was already going for the stall door, I'll sit back down and I'll wait. I will wait it out because I don't want them to know that I did the terrible thing that is affecting them in their bathroom life. But
wow.
Yeah, I'm weird.
It is interesting. I would say you're weirder than the average person when it comes to bathroom idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
And I say that neutrally. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of, but
no, I'm completely aware, and I'm aware that it's weird, but what do you do?
Yeah. What do you think that derives from?
I don't know.
Not to get psychological or anything.
I need to go back to therapy and ask about that.
Yeah.
Why am I afraid for people to know that I was the one who stunk up the bathroom?
Yeah. Although of all things one might go to therapy for, I would think that's pretty low on the totem pole of.
I do have other priorities I need to discuss in therapy, more so than that.
Yeah. Don't we all? I want to get to some dad jokes and 3 Facts Jack. I've got a brand new gripe of wrath. I want to do the worldwide randomness of life, and the herb top 20 countdown is down to the penultimate number 2.
Speaking of bathroom observations, we got number 2 coming up. Before you do that, though, I've had some friends write in. I have Dan has math friends. I have question friends.
Okay.
That contributed to it's kind of like Greg's mail sack, but a little different. We didn't really open this up. I just reached out to some friends. I'm like, hey, if you could ask Greg something, like what would you ask him? So I'm calling this get to know your Greg.
Okay.
And so my friends, so Andrew Streeter submitted something. I don't have all the questions attributed to the same person, but Andrew Streeter sent something in. My friend Schweitz up in Canada sent something in. Okay. And then Jeanette and Jeff and Pal who joined us, the school teacher who joined us with the big hat.
Right.
They all helped out with this. So shout out to them. Because I think we got some good questions here. Where this is different than, this whole show is get to know your Greg. However, you're in control of that. When listeners ask questions, you're in less control, Greg. So I'm going to ask you some stuff. Some of these are silly. Some of these are real. And so they're areas where we may never think to go. So get to know your Greg. No imaging at this time, but one day. So what was your first car and what's your dream car?
My first car was
the first car that you could call yours.
Yeah. My first car was a 1964 Buick Skylark.
Oh, whoa.
It was white. It had big, fat racing type tires in the back. It had an aluminum engine that I cracked. I cracked the engine block by flying through a big, deep puddle with a hot engine, and it cracked the aluminum block. But I loved that car.
How old were you?
It was my first car, so I probably
so it was
17.
like 16, 17, or did you get one older?
No, I didn't. You know, how a lot of people drive when they're 16 or even 15 or whatever now. I don't think I got my license until I was 17.
I got it on my 17th birthday.
Yeah, so I could have been 18 or even 19 when I got my first car.
Yeah, I was 22, so yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first car. And my dream car, you know, I've been driving a Corvette for years. I've had like 5 different Corvettes, and that's probably as close to a dream car as I have. You know, I'm not one of these people who's gonna, you know, show off by buying a Maserati or something.
Right.
Although there are cars of that ilk that would be better fitting as a dream car that I would love to drive. But I'm satisfied with the Corvette.
The Corvette's my favorite American sports car for sure.
Yeah.
And now did you? Because I thought the Opel was your first one. What Opel did you have? Was it a GT or was it the wagon?
I had the wagon. I had an orange Opel wagon. I remember distinctly that I had the rear window of the wagon had like an orange tinted mountain range scene.
What was it? What year was this?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. I mean, it was, you know, it was probably in 1980 or something. I don't know. But
I was wondering if it was the GT and if that's where you got your Corvette fix from, because it's kind of like a baby Corvette.
Yeah,
in and of its own right. But.
No, and then what other cars have I owned pre-Corvette? I had 2 Hondas. I had a Honda Civic and then a Honda Accord.
Yeah.
And then I might have gone right into Corvette. My first Corvette was a surprise birthday gift from my wife.
Nice.
It was kind of cool.
Now, did you learn how to drive a stick?
I have driven a stick. Yes, I used to drive a stick shift. One of my Hondas was a stick shift, and I believe my first Corvette was a stick shift. And I can drive a stick to this day. You know, You never figure out how. But I'm lazy now in a cockpit. You know, I just prefer.
I guess, especially in Miami traffic, it's not as much fun. But yeah, I drive a 5-speed now, but I didn't learn until my mid-20s. I didn't grow up learning on a 5-speed, but I eventually wanted to be able to drive one, so I did, and that's what I've had for the last 20 years is a 5-speed.
I live in a flat area, you know, but if I lived in San Francisco, you couldn't pay me to have a stick shift. I mean, that would
I
just
love
be
the control, and I remember going like 4 months on a bad starter, just push starting my car.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't have the money to fix it at the time, so I just always parked on hills and let's go. Let's live large or live wild. So
all right. All right. What's our other question?
Next question. Andrew asked this one, and I thought this is actually like a non-silly question, but how, you know, everyone sees you with Chris all the time. You do a lot with Chris between Le Batard's show and this show. How has that affected or not your relationship with Michael? And like, what do you and Michael have a thing, you know, that you do together, just you and him?
I would say Michael and I have more of a normal father-son relationship, you know, because what I have with Christopher is totally out of the ordinary. You know, I essentially work with my son, you know, on 2 different shows, and that's the exception to the rule. You know, Michael and I have more of a normal relationship. We're on the same, you know, we bowl together once a week. You know, we're in all the family things, PFPI and all the usual stuff. You know, the last time I went into a movie theater to see a movie, Rocket Man, the Elton John story, it was with Michael, just the 2 of us. So, you know, he comes over, he and Tati come over for dinner every other Sunday. So Michael and I are very close. Christopher and I might be closer, only not in an emotional or a love sense, but only in a literal sense, since we work together.
Right.
When Michael and I don't. But yeah, so that's the name of that tune.
The Jeanette asked, "What's something you admire about Chris?" y'all give each other a lot of crap on the show, of
that's
course.
true.
But what's something you admire about him?
I admire that through hard work, he has a job that he loves. And I don't know how many people can say that. He's in his late 30s now. He just turned 38. Wow, he just turned 38. So he's in his late 30s, and he has a job that he absolutely loves and that he's proud of. He's proud to go to work at the Le Batard show. He has a lot of fun when I'm in there once or twice a week, and I'll be in Monday this week, the day we come out. I see the joy on his face, and I'm just proud. He began as an intern, an unpaid intern, who had no guarantee, because here's the thing about Le Batard, and you can make all the nepotism jokes you want, but Le Batard is running a business. He's a very smart businessman. If Christopher is simply not cut out to do what he's doing, either working a board, being an EP, or just being an on-air guy, he's not going to last in that job just because I'm friends with Dan. And Christopher has earned everything he's gotten, and I'm very proud that through hard work, he's fallen into a job that he loved. He always used to say that he wanted to do something in sports. And for a time, he dipped his toe into coaching and coached his JV high school baseball team. But more realistic was something that allowed him to engage in his sense of humor. And, Le Batard is peripherally a sports show, sort of like we're peripherally a sports podcast, but it's close enough to give him that I wanted to do something for a living in sports fix. So I'm very proud of him for what he's made of a career thus far.
That's cool. Pal wants to know if you would like his giant cowboy hat. He just got a new job at a different school, so he's got to get one in a different color.
What was it, yellow? I can't recall.
Green. It was a big green hat. It's a big hat.
As much as I would like to say yes, I'm gonna gratefully decline. He should start a personal Hall of Fame and put the big foam hat in his own Hall of Fame.
I agree. Pal does deserve a Hall of Fame. Jeanette wants to know if you saw her butt stuff tweet. This would have been when we were having the great debate over whether or not they were adult bookstores. She found one near here in LA, and because she was driving past it, she's like, adult bookstore. So she took a Greg Cote butt stuff sticker from the Le Batard show store and went and took a picture outside of the adult bookstore with your butt stuff sticker, just to prove to Chris that they are real.
I did see that. Somebody forwarded it to me or something. I don't remember how I saw it, but I was aware of that. And I appreciate Jeanette doing that, because I remember recording that, and I was incredulous that Christopher had never heard of an adult bookstore. That was flabbergasting to me.
A lot of parents might be proud that their child didn't know that, but
Yeah, but he's at 38. I think he's old enough to. There are still adult bookstores. I'm imagining one right on State Road 7, a main thoroughfare down here, and you still see them. Not often.
Jeanette found this one right down the road from where she was driving. So
they still exist.
She also wants to know if Jumpin' Charlie will ever be allowed into PFPI.
That would be groundbreaking. But then again, I never imagined letting my 6-year-old granddaughter in, and I never imagined letting Tati in prior to officially becoming a Cote through marriage. So the rules are bending all around me, but I would rule out Jumping Charlie, yes.
A couple of rapid fire questions from Jeff. I do remember that he sent these. What do you think of people who use garlic from a jar?
I'm tolerant. I prefer the fresh garlic that I slice with my own knife, and I have the ability to slice it or chop it or mince it. I prefer that. It's better. The flavor is more pungent, but I don't look down on people who use jar garlic. As long as it's in olive oil, it's perfectly good.
Ribeye or filet?
Ribeye 1 and filet 2. Those are my two favorite cuts of beef.
Jeff is a lawyer. Are you willing to pay off his student loans?
Absolutely not.
To which Jeanette said that would have to be Arlene's job.
Yes, leave it to a lawyer, by the way, to have the audacity to ask.
Please. The other day, someone was giving Jeff crap because he shops at Harbor Freight. They're like, get a real tool. I'm like, look, Jeff is a lawyer. He has more in student loans than I'll make in my entire life. So I do actually feel for him. He's a lawyer in California as well. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. What kind of law is he in?
Estate law.
Okay.
And so if you have any California friends that need an estate lawyer, let Jeff know.
Okay.
All right. Here, last question, and we'll wrap this up. Jeanette asked this one. I'm pretty sure it was her. If Ron wanted to name an animal at the zoo after you, which animal would you choose?
Oh, wow. Wow, that's a good question. I think it would be so many people have in my career, critics of mine have called me an ass. I think I would pick a donkey. I find donkeys to be really cute. You know, if you've ever seen a juvenile donkey who's like a year or two old, they're adorable.
Greg Cote, ass man.
Yeah. No,
I would have him choose the oldest tortoise there at the zoo. But
okay.
Yeah, for you. But Greg Cote, ass man, I like it.
Well, here's the thing. Do major zoos even have donkeys? I don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they do. They should, though. The next time I speak to Ron off the air, I'm going to ask him why zoos don't have donkeys. Because they're just. I think zoos. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the air before, but I think zoos should have farm animals. I think there should be somewhere on the zoo property where you get to see wild horses and cows and donkeys and sheep.
Well, according to Google AI and like in a Facebook post from 2018, they at least used to have asses. Oh, Somali wild asses, according to an article on Zoo, but that was back in 2018, so I don't know about now.
Okay.
But they at least have had the famed ass at Zoo Miami. So
I'm going to get to the bottom of that and report.
Let's get an ass
week.
named Greg Cote.
I would love that.
I'm sure a substantive or a proper donation to his substantive endowment would help.
We could make that work.
All right.
We could make that work.
Well, that wraps up get to know your Greg this time. Thanks
that was
for everyone
fun.
who sent that in. I enjoyed that too.
I don't know if that's different than Greg's mail sack or has replaced it or what, but
it won't replace it, but it feels a little different.
I want people to know me as well as they want to, and chances are most people know plenty about me and don't want to know any more. But if you do, I'm happy to be honest with you.
All right, what's our first? Are we starting with dad jokes, Greg?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
All right.
He's always kind of thinking that his puns are in vogue. He cracks himself up like an egg with a yolk. And now Chris's morale is broke. Dad jokes.
Number 3. This may be an easy one. What did Papa John name his newborn son?
Baby pizza. I don't know.
Little Caesar.
Oh, I like that one. Not bad. Not bad. I'm not laughing, but clever enough.
Yeah. What is the world's most popular edible table?
No clue.
A vegetable. Ending in the word table.
It's dumb, but okay, it works.
Yeah. What is the perfect job for someone who loves to eat?
I don't know.
Forklift driver.
Okay. All right, good enough. I'm not laughing, but good enough.
All right. Well, see, I don't know what defines a good dad joke, because sometimes a good dad joke, I think, emits a groan. Like it's almost like the worse it is, the better it is.
Right.
How would you define what a dad joke should be?
My favorite ones that you shared are the ones that get me off balance. They're clever enough. They don't have to be even the funniest, but if they're clever enough and have just enough funny to make me chuckle, like especially even sometimes it is so dumb that it's funny. It's just gotta knock me off balance. And as soon as it does, I'm usually gonna bust up into laughter about that.
Okay. So. 3 facts, Jack.
There are 3 things that interest him, so sit right back for 3 facts, Jack.
Fact away, Greg.
Number 3, the red liquid on the plate when you order your steak rare is not blood. Animals slaughtered for sale undergo a blood-draining process called exsanguination. What is commonly mistaken for blood on the plate actually is water mixed with myoglobin, an iron-rich protein that turns red when exposed to oxygen. All meats contain myoglobin, but beef has by far the most. Which I didn't know.
Yeah, I always just consider it a bloody steak.
I know, me too. Number 2, the highest grossing film of all time when adjusted for inflation is the 1939 epic Gone with the Wind. Number 1, the average cow in its lifetime produces the equivalent of 200,000 glasses of milk.
Thank you, cow.
Yes, thank you, cow.
Do you drink milk?
Very
Like,
rarely.
do you fill up a glass of milk and drink it anymore? I haven't in years,
No.
except for chocolate milk. I'll make chocolate milk on occasion.
No, I'll use a little bit of cream in my coffee, and I will use milk, low-fat milk, parenthetically.
Right.
If I'm having like cereal, like
It's
Frosted
just a
Flakes or
straight
something.
white glass of milk. It just doesn't happen.
I can't tell you the last time I have drank a glass of milk.
Now, what I find offensive, this is another weird idiosyncrasy, and I can't be alone in this, is ice cubes in milk. It's disgusting
God.
looking. It looks like
Oh,
loogies.
I hate that. Yeah.
And orange juice, too.
Oh,
Ice cubes in either. They look like loogies. It's just gross.
I hate that. I also hate when I see people putting an ice cube in their wine.
Oh,
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that.
I imagine
at
that's
all.
not how it's supposed to be. I don't know. I'm not a wine
It
guy.
is not. No, it's a crime against red wine. I think you can maybe get away with it with white wine, but if you're putting an ice cube in an expensive glass of Cabernet Sauvignon, you have committed a crime against grapes.
I want to see someone do that, like just as a bit, just to piss people off at like a fancy wine tasting.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Someone put a bunch of ice cubes.
Speaking of grapes, gripe of wrath.
Annoyances, complaints. Greg's got grievances out the ass, so buckle up, Buttercup. It's time for Greg Cody's Gripes of Wrath.
I could have just griped about people putting ice cubes in milk.
I know.
Go on, Greg.
That actually would be a good gripe of wrath, but since I just did it impromptu, I will tell you that my gripe of wrath this week is I think you probably know what I'm talking about. AI generated talking babies in suits.
Yeah.
Okay. I blame the E-Trade baby from the old Super Bowl commercials because that was the first time I ever remember like talking babies and, making fun of babies. But those babies, the E-Trade baby was in diapers, in a crib. It just happened to be talking. Now, the talking babies in suits, you see Donald Trump babies. They're always chubby babies. Donald Trump, babies with beards drinking at an Irish bar. It was almost cute at first. Now it's just like overkill. It's just another reason why I hate artificial intelligence. The proliferation has become so predictable, tired. Stop it.
Yeah, there's that one. There are those things where people will take like a picture of you and Chris. We have one listener who's done this, and I don't mean to offend you. I can't remember which listener it is, but they'll take a picture of you and Chris, and they'll do that AI thing and make you guys sing. I've seen those things, and like I thought it was halfway funny the first time. Now I cannot stand them. I'll probably get my feed flooded with things like that, but whatever. It's just, it's just. I don't like it. But it's also, we're sending our stuff to AI and helping to train it when we use those apps, and I hate that so much. I'm going to have to change. I just found out the video editing app I use is doing the same thing. I'm going to have to change it up because they claim certain rights to our intellectual property. It sucks. Wow. All these companies are doing this now. Where they're writing in their terms of service, where we give up some of our intellectual property to them by using their service, and I don't like that at all. But anyway, that's my own little gripe. Carry on, Greg.
All right, that was Gripe of Wrath 2.0, that one. Okay, right now, let's go to the worldwide randomness of life.
Greg Cody's Worldwide Randomness of Life. Worldwide Randomness of Life.
It's worldwide.
It's random. It's Greg Cody. Worldwide Randomness of Life.
My favorite segment.
You're kidding or no?
Carry on, Greg.
All right, say no more. This is the thing I like about this new segment is that it's in real time.
All right. What do we have on the feed now?
I know. I'm looking right now.
At
Okay.
5:39 Eastern on a Friday.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. You ready?
Go for it.
These are in order. The 10 most trending Google searches right now in real time. Number 1, today Wordle answers. Power Stick deodorant recall. Blade of the Swarm card. Tate Ratledge Detroit Lions contract. Northern Lights forecast. Florida Congressional District ruling. ABC fall premiere dates. Delta flight emergency landing. Philadelphia Phillies, and full retirement age.
Tell me about the deodorant, Greg.
I have no idea. What is that a brand name, Power Stick?
Click on it. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? We tell you which one we'd want to hear about, and you click on it and do a quick reading.
Okay, here we go. More than 67,000 cases of popular deodorant have been recalled. What to know? Various Power Stick products have been recalled due to current good manufacturing practice deviations. Wow, Power Stick. Never heard of it.
Same here. What deodorant do you use, Greg? Get to know your Greg part 2.
I use the Menon, the one with the green cap.
By Menon.
Menon.
But
And
there's a brand to that. Menon is the parent company. Who is it? Speed Stick? Are you?
I think it is. I think it might be
Speed Stick.
No, I could go get it for you in the bathroom,
but
I use way too much deodorant. Like instead of just a couple of wipes, I will wipe 15 times in each armpit.
Do you ever run out and have to use Arlene's and then she gets mad because you've like you've messed it up?
In our long marriage, that has happened in 1 or 2 emergency situations, but
Jane gets mad at me. Yeah, Jane gets mad at me if I have to use hers. She's like, I can always tell because like my armpit hairs, like spread some of the deodorant on thing. And I use too much as well. But I actually use women's deodorant. I use Secret because it's the only one I can find in a clinical strength, and it works. I just get the lavender scent. It's perfectly neutral enough. It doesn't smell too flowery or anything.
Oh, wow.
And I like lavender anyway. Yeah. So I wear that. It's not like you can smell my deodorant as you're wearing it,
Okay.
But you're going to smell like, if I'm wearing a cologne or something, but not my deodorant.
Wow.
But yeah, it actually like kind of helps really. Nothing stops my sweat. I will sweat right through almost anything, but it's the best I've found at regulating. I used Jane's a couple of times when I ran out and I was like, well, I quite like this. I think Amin has said you'll actually find Secret deodorant in a lot of NBA locker rooms.
Really?
Yeah, I think I've heard him say that on Levitard before as a
rejoin. To me, that is a revelation.
Yeah,
admitting that you use a woman's deodorant
for years. Yeah.
Wow.
It just works the best.
Wow. Used to be a secret. No more.
No more.
Okay. Well, congratulations for your honesty. And now, Herb Top 20 Countdown.
The Greg Cody Show with Greg Cody presents Greg Cody's Top 20 Herbs. Here's Greg Cody with your Herb of the Week.
Okay, I have
to
read them all.
We are at number 2. Let's read them all.
Christopher, at the very beginning of this, said you got to read the countdown every week, and so I'm doing it.
And now 20, he regrets it. Make him sit in his regret.
Number 20, Acmella oleracea, the toothache plant. 19, Hall of Fame cornerback Herb Adderley. 18, non-irradiated bay leaves. 17, 30th U.S. President Herb Hoover. 16, 1960s movie about a VW race car, Herb the Love Bug. 15, 1960s jazz pianist and composer Herb Hancock. 14, Aaron Rodgers' favorite hallucinogen, ayahuasca. 13, 60s and 70s TV actor Herb Edelman. 12, the king of herbs, basil. 11, the Miracle Man, 1980 U.S. hockey coach Herb Brooks. 10, the herb symbolizing long-lasting love, rosemary. 9, Los Angeles Chargers quarterback Justin Herb. 8, the herb salsa dip cannot live without cilantro. 7, world's most expensive herb, saffron. 6, NHL top career goal-scoring herb, Herb Kane. 5, the most misidentified of all herbs, the banana. 4, more than felines love Nepeta cataria, a.k.a. catnip. 3, to me it was an ounce in a plastic baggie, marijuana. And now, number 2. Sometimes the greatest discoveries are by anonymous inventors. until now. It was 1972 in Santa Barbara, California, and it revolutionized breakfast and fast food. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who invented McDonald's Egg McMuffin, Herb Peterson.
All right, Herb.
Herb Peterson, the Egg McMuffin inventor. And he was a fan of Eggs Benedict. And he wanted to make a portable, fast foody version of Eggs Benedict, and he came up with Egg McMuffin.
Love a good Eggs Benedict. Egg McMuffin's about the only thing McDonald's that I like.
Yeah, I used to go to McDonald's a lot. And
I try to avoid it. Yeah, I try to avoid it. That's herb number 2. And listeners, you're going to have to wait an extra week because Greg is not going to give us herb number 1 when he's on vacation.
That's correct.
He wants to be home to make sure he gets through the proper delivery and gives this herb the award it deserves. The honor of the Herb Alpert Cup.
Yes, that's right. And we will have me on the podcast next week live from Vancouver, wherever the hell I am wherever the hell I am when we record next week. But
get us out of here, Greg.
I'm getting us out of here. I thank you all. Thank Christopher for his crappy contribution from Las Vegas, where half of it was in a bathroom and the other half was looking up from his stomach toward his upper chest and wearing what appeared to be a stained white t-shirt. But seriously, it was a great live report from Christopher. Thank you all, audience, listeners, viewers. I'm glad you guys are tapping into our YouTube channel in addition to the audio version because we like you to listen to both. Treat yourself. Listen and watch every week. Double your pleasure. Thanks again. See you next week. Bye-bye.